Hey guys, it's San and welcome back to the BulbaSquad. So today we are going to be doing another spider system. However, I'm going to expand on it further. Today I am going to go into further intra-set optimization, courtesy of one of my subscribers named Gerb, who opened up my mind to this possibility. Essentially, I'm going to take the spider system, run through it. Please bear with me, it's boring. After that, I am going to show you how I personally would then decide to optimize within the set, where I would distribute my money into various sections of the set percentage-wise. So essentially I'm going to talk about where I would put for the Shining Fates ETB, the pin collections, the tins, all that. I'm going to address that. But first, the set itself is what matters. So, without further ado, let's hop right into it. First and foremost, Shining Fates. Oh wait, no, some of you might be new. So here's how it goes. Spider system is used to predict the future longevity or potential growth of a set. This doesn't give you exact numbers, it gives you an idea. These are the constants. Any one of these gets checked off, you are automatically doing better. So, first and foremost, we got a Charizard. Charizard historically always improves a set. However, marginally. Even Vivid Voltage, because believe it or not, Vivid Voltage has a Charizard in the pre-release kit, and that technically boosted the set as a whole. Shinies. Most shinies in the past, typically, especially if they're front and center, tend to lean the set more towards a stronger growth over the time. Waifus. If I recall, we have a few waifus in it. Sadly, no Marnie, but granted, we should even be calling Marnie a waifu. So, supply. At the release, I would actually say the supply is neutral. The reason for that is even though at the release it looked like there was no supply, remember, it is not right to judge the day one supply whenever that supply is technically spread out over release, over multiple waves. Neutral. The reason I can't say it's bad either is because even though the demand overall for Shining Fates has shifted downward, how often do you find it in stores? Realistically, how often do you find it? Maybe a couple pink collections, a few Pikachu boxes, maybe if you're lucky, some premium collections, and to the ETBs. There's not that much Shining Fates out there in the stores, even though not that many people want it. So I have to say it's neutral. Playability does not exist. Playability only applies if the set itself was more geared towards the players. And that would be battle styles, even Chilling Reign, I would argue. But Shining Fates was almost all reprints, so no. Intrinsic value for Shining Fates. Oh man, I would honestly say it's terrible. Some of you may argue with me, but here's the thing. Whenever the set is well into rotation, the intrinsic value is determined by the raw card value. The only time the intrinsic value switches to graded cards is whenever you are talking about a set that is either going out of rotation or almost out of rotation. Looking at you, Sun and Moon. So, deviation. Oh wait, no, I forgot to explain even further. Now, you know what? Deviation. Terrible. Both of these are going to go hand in hand. The reason both of these are bad as well beyond that is the fact that Shining Fates has awful, and I mean awful, grading. You are getting pack fresh PSA 6s, 7s, even 5s. Like, I saw people who had shinies in their hand and the paint was flaking off onto their fingers. Like, what? Like, that's awful. Who cares if you pull the Suicune, which was really hard to pull, and it's worth pretty much the whole ETB if you bought MSRP, but it's flaking off and it's pretty much damaged. If you got a Charizard and it's already a pack fresh PSA 7, you ain't getting nothing for it. Expectations for this set. Expectations were like just through the roof. They were through the roof. Everyone was saying, Hidden Fates 2.0, it's going to be better. It's going to be better than Champion's Path. Guess what? It's been a couple months. Stuff has slowed down. Shining Fates, you can't sell it to make a profit. Everyone's in pain who's trying to flip it, hold it. Shining Fates overall is not looking good. People do not have faith in Shining Fates, even though we have some constants in it. overall, it's not looking good. I'm going to make some brash predictions. Remember, I do not have a crystal ball. This is all wild speculation over here because this is 12 to 18 months. We are not even to 6 months yet. So, here we go. Over here, I predict Shining Fate supply. I think it might actually get worse. They might reprint it. They might hit it. People are going to lose faith. They're going to let go. Supply's going to get bad. And supply getting bad means there's a lot out there. If supply was good, it means there's not very much out there. Think of Cosmic Eclipse, Hidden Fates. Playability, that's not going to change. This is always going to be negative. Because you never get a set that's not playable and then turns into playable within the rotation. Intrinsic value, I actually think it's going to get even worse. So X squared, it's going to get worse. Deviation, this one's actually up in the air. If they can fix the print runs in the later print runs, or if they fix the card quality in the later print runs, perhaps deviation will be less bad. But at best, we're looking at a neutral deviation because the Charizard's in there. And Charizard skews everything. And if they actually fix it, it'll be interesting to see if people decide to figure out, okay, what's the first print run and what's the newest print run? What are the differences? If we can spot that, I would rather buy the later print run over the first one because you're going to have a much higher chance at 10s. Expectations. No one is expecting anything of Shining Fates. Reality. Shining Fates just going to be dead in the water for a long time. It's not looking good. So, give me 1 second, I'll be right back. And we're back, guys. So, here's how it's going to go. First, you have to divide all of your items into certain categories. I have 3 categories. Primary, which is the main asset that is essentially guiding the whole set. Secondary, which is going to be, it's essentially all the items that are, they teeter on the edge of being a primary, like the Elite Trainer boxes or the premium collections, which are over here. And tertiary is anything you normally wouldn't consider. Sleeve boosters, blisters, pin collections, like pin collections up there that I've got for generations, things like that. And so, here's the thing. All of these items, these 2 categories, the secondary and the tertiary, are connected to the primary asset, the primary category. So, essentially, booster boxes and ETBs will typically set the price for everything else. Yes, main set ETBs will typically be more expensive than the regular booster boxes on a price per pack basis. That's simply because right out the gate the ETBs are already charging you $5 per pack as opposed to what the booster boxes usually are. It's around $3 a pack. It's almost always cheaper. But the thing is, at the end of the day, people are buying the set to open the set. That's what it is. You don't just buy it because you felt like it. Usually, you're buying it because you want to open it. And that's who you're trying to sell to. So typically, more packs equals easier to sell. Better liquidity. Even though already, none of this is easy to sell. So, if we're talking strictly Shining Fates, so everything over here is going to be Shining Fates. Okay? I'm also going to be covering Hidden Fates. And may as well, I'll throw it in Champion's Path. I decided I'd throw this one in at the last minute because I know some of you are going to be asking about it. So, none of these sets are main sets. You know what? No, not Champion's Path. We're going to talk about Vivid Voltage. I need to give you guys a regular example. Sorry if this is going to be boring. Primary thing. ETBs. That is the primary thing when it comes to a main set. Now, Shining Fates. This is a weak set. I'm scared of it. I'm not going to throw out a dollar number. We're not going to say $100 or $7,000, whatever. We're just going to say percentages. I am nervous about Shining Fates. I'm only feeling confident on the primary item. So, at minimum, I want 60% in it, possibly going up to 70%. If you want a better example, all I've got is Shining Fates. ETBs. I did not buy anything else. I didn't trust it. When we come to the secondary, secondary items. The premium collections. Again, I think it's risky. I think all of this is already risky. I would maybe put 20% in, but no more than 30%. Tertiary. This would be your pin collections, your Pikachu V boxes. Oh yeah, I forgot. In secondary, I would also put the tins with 6 booster packs because those have enough packs and shiny Pokemon that it puts them into the secondary category. But down here, this would be your pins, your Galarian pack, your Galarian PAL thing, I forgot what they're called, and the Pikachu thing. I would, under no circumstances, would I ever want to exceed 20% on this thing. I'm even hesitant to put 10% into it. It's just so risky in my opinion. I see no justification, because even if I can make incredible returns down here, the risk is so great I could lose a ton of money. And if you go into the negatives, you've already lost. Hidden Fates. Hidden Fates, completely different story. ETBs. Here's the thing. When it comes to Hidden Fates, the set as a whole is stronger, so I'm more confident putting money into other classes. So I would want to put 50%, just straight up, 50% into my ETBs. As for the premium collection, which would be the Great Ball collection, I believe there was another one that had Rayquaza in it. So those, I actually think those are really solid. I would feel confident putting around 25, nah, not 25. I'd feel confident putting around 30% into it. Maybe a little higher. Maybe a little higher, because I feel pretty good on those. As for the tins, the Walmart collection boxes, what else do they have? Paint collections, and I think that was it. I would put whatever is left down here. So I would go 20%. Sorry if it's all crooked, it's hard for me to write down there. That is the distribution I would go for, because Hidden Fates as a whole is stronger than Shining Fates. That's the thing. At the end of the day, this isn't about, this item looks a little bit better, so I think that's a good. No. All of this is tied back straight to the set. If the set itself is a dud, everything after it is going to be weak. If the foundation is not good, the rest of it is going to crumble. Vivid Voltage, because this is important. Booster boxes. When it comes to a main set, it's very tricky, because sometimes you could have good stuff to work with. Booster boxes on Vivid Voltage. I personally believe when it comes to the primary holding, you should never have less than 50%. Why? This is stable. Stable-ish in Pokemon. Stable. So 50%. No more, no less. Now, what would be the secondary on this? The build and battles and the ETBs. You must, absolutely must, evaluate these with the contents they have inside. I forgot to mention that earlier. You must see the promos that are inside. The box art itself is people like that. And the Elite Trainer box is same thing, box art. You must point out what Pokemon do they have. Are we talking like a Charizard on the box art? Or are we talking like, what was that stupid thing, Copperajah on the box art? There's a massive difference. Or even Pikachu. If it has those, I feel more confidence on it. I would honestly probably put 40% in here. You could definitely move this upwards. Absolutely, you can 100% move that upwards. I'm being more bullish on this, just kind of showing you guys. Down here, if I had my way on a main set almost every time, I would put 0% down here. I would actually put between 40 and 50% into this. Why? Historically, blisters, boosters, random little gimmicks, they're just not that good of a place to park money. The issue with it, people don't like buying that in bulk. People do not like those items. They would rather have a bunch of packs. It's not a good, you already have an increased cost basis. It's not a good place to go. if you decide to move into it, because it's such high risk, because this is by default categorized by risk. Lowest risk, highest risk. If you're going to do it, I honestly wouldn't want to put more than 10% into it. It's just too risky. Way too risky. And this is how I would personally approach setting up an intra-set optimization. To sum it up now, with the way this works, primary is wherever the most packs are. It's the gold standard of its respective area. Specialty sets or main sets. Secondary, what comes after that? It would be premium collections, the ultra premium collections, things like that. Build and battles, ETBs for main sets. And tertiary is everything else. Things can sometimes move into the secondary depending on circumstances, but it's very difficult for it to happen, for that to occur. And when we're evaluating these, specifically secondary, you must look at the promos of every item. You must see if there are ETBs. Are there 2 of them? If there are 2, if they're both good, guess what? You just chop that supply in half, because now people are going to want multiple ETBs, or just one, and that ETB supply was already split to another one because they had to allocate the printers. As you can see, it is very difficult to optimize Modern. It is not easy to do it. If you guys like seeing this, the way I break it down, tell me. If you guys genuinely like seeing this, I will make this for future sets. Hell, I might make this for Evolving Skies. Even though I wouldn't feel comfortable being that early on, if that's what you guys want, I will do my best to provide a breakdown of Evolving Skies at release. Hell, if you guys really want it, I might even do Chilling Reign. But again, that is entirely up to you guys. Just tell me down below in the comments if that's what you're interested in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.